breaks the spell, and information never sleeps. Never sleeps. Tune into Revolution Radio, where truth breaks the spell and information never sleeps. Where truth breaks the spell and information never sleeps.
All right, thanks for listening while we take that short break here at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. Yeah, we're going to get back to your host.
Well, hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. Welcome to the New American Dream Radio Show. Our first show of 2026. Right on the first day of 2026. How about that? We have a new American dream. Not of new homes and toasters and microwaves, but of becoming the type of country we always thought we were. A country where people help each other. People communicate with each other. They talk and listen and come up with. They find all the things that they have in common and the wonderful things that they can do together. And they focus on that. Instead of on all the things somebody else is telling them are different. We have a new American dream. Where people love each other. That's our new American dream. Well, tonight we have a great show for you. We are very shortly going to be joined by Abba Bird, who will be joining us from somewhere in California, I think. You never can quite tell. Abba was actually the very first guest on our first show quite a while back on February 3rd of 2011. She's a regular in this first week of each month, and very fortunate to have her as a regular guest. So she should be joining us momentarily. I did send her the joining info, but I may end up calling her on the phone instead. We'll see.
Hey Chuck, you there?
Aha!
You there?
Hello, Abba. Welcome to the New American Dream Radio Show. And Happy New Year.
Hey, thank you very much.
I'm glad.
Wow, I'm glad that worked out so well. I connected in so easily good. This is great. Happy New Year, Chuck.
Happy New Year, Chuck.
How are you doing?
Happy New Year. Doing pretty well, thank you. How about you?
Well, it's been a rainy New Year's Eve where I am, but I'm actually really enjoying it. It's sort of like almost a snow day. It's almost snow, because it's chilly and it's winter.
And
Okay.
If you live in a sunny climate, you really appreciate rainy days. It just and it feels like a real holiday. Quiet. It's nice. I've been really enjoying it. So far so good. But gosh, lots to talk about. Florida, Chuck, I recently read has one of the highest crime rates in the nation. Did you know that?
No.
Or Fort Lauderdale. I'm sorry, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Okay. Oh, really?
Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
No, it surprises me that Fort Lauderdale would have a high rate. And it wouldn't surprise me for Miami to have a high crime rate. I wouldn't have expected that.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
I was
I was
surprised. It
surprised.
came
It came
across.
across.
You know how there's so many
There's so
things
many
now,
things
like
now, like
top
top
10 and
10
top
and
20,
top
top
20,
50.
top 50.
And I saw it
And I
on
saw it
there.
on there.
I mean, it was
I mean,
later
it
on
was
down the
later on
list,
down
but
the
it was
list, but it was
still
still
within the top
within the
10, I
top 10,
believe.
I
If I
believe.
see
If
it
I
again,
see
I'll
it
send
again,
it
I'll
to you.
send
But
it to you. But
I
I know I felt
Fort,
Fort Lauderdale was um
quite safe.
quite
It
safe.
might be a
It might
lot
be a
of
lot of
like
like
beach
beach
thefts that
thefts
might
that
count
might count
as,
as
like
Yeah,
tick up the
tick up
crime
the
rate.
crime rate.
yeah. I don't know. It's I don't
I
know.
mean, you had
I
your
mean, you
bike.
had your
Didn't
bike.
you have your
Didn't you
bike
have your
stolen a
bike
couple of
stolen a couple
times?
of times?
Yeah, yeah. I have had that happen. I have had that happen. More than a couple. More than a couple.
And if we go back,
And
the
if we
whole
go
time
back,
I've lived here,
the whole time I've lived here,
I think there's
I
at least
think
5 bikes have been stolen.
at least 5 bikes have been stolen.
Wow.
Wow.
Yep. So maybe.
Yep.
But I
So
kind of thought that
maybe.
was anywhere. But I kind of
maybe.
thought that was anywhere. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully.
You know, it's so
You know,
weird.
it's
I'm
so
in a
weird. I'm
place
in a
where
place where
I'm in a blue
I'm in a
city
blue
that,
city that,
they have these
they have
5G
these
towers
5G towers
everywhere now.
everywhere now.
And the place
And the
where I'm
place
at,
where I'm
they're
at,
like
they're like
everywhere.
everywhere.
Like, it just seems
Like
like
it
they're
just
on
seems like they're
every,
on every,
practically like
practically like
every few
every
hundred
few
feet.
hundred
They're
feet.
everywhere.
They're everywhere.
And I
And
still
I
only
still
have
only have like
I still
I
don't
still
have
don't have
good
good
internet,
internet,
or like
or
right now
like
I
right
only
now
have
I only have
one or two
one or
little
two little
bars. So I was
bars. So I
hoping
was
that
hoping
I'm
that
not
I'm
breaking
not
up and you
breaking
can
up and
still
you can
hear me.
still
But
hear me. But
it's just
it's
weird.
just
It's like
weird.
all
It's
this
like all this
technology and we
technology and
still
we
can't,
still can't,
you know,
you know,
just have a
just
lot of
have a lot
basic
of basic
services.
services.
Yeah, right.
yeah,
You are
right.
not you are
breaking up,
not
but you are
breaking up,
fading
but
in
you
and out a
are
little bit. So
fading
I
in
don't
and
know
out a little bit.
if
So
you're
I don't
not,
know, if
always
you're not
holding the
you know,
phone the
always
same way or
holding the
something. But
phone the same way or something. But
there was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm.
I
I
hear
hear
you.
you. Okay.
Okay.
Well.
Well, anyway,
Yet we're
Yet
getting
we're getting
zapped.
zapped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yet
Yet
all my cells
all
are
my
being
cells are being
cooked like
cooked
an
like
egg,
an
frying
frying
egg
egg
from all
from
these
all these
5G
5G
towers
towers
everywhere.
everywhere.
That
That
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
It's
It's
just
just
like, here's
here's
the
the
thing.
thing.
We haven't asked for any of this stuff. And
And
all
all
these
these
AI
AI
data
data
centers that
centers
now
that
are
now
all
are
of a
all of a
sudden trying to
sudden
pop
trying to
up
pop up
everywhere.
everywhere.
Notice how
Notice how
quick
quick
and
and
easy they
easy
want to
they
push
want to
this stuff
push
through
this
and
stuff
build
through
it.
and build
I
it.
mean, how
I mean,
easy and
how
quick that
easy and
could
quick
be,
that could be,
and how yet
and
we
how
don't
yet
even
we
have
don't
basic
even have
stuff
basic
like
stuff
health
like health
insurance, clean
insurance, clean
water,
water,
housing,
housing,
quality
quality
health
health
care
care
at
at
that.
that.
I
I
mean,
mean,
quality
quality
housing,
housing,
quality
quality
water,
water,
quality.
quality.
We
We
don't
don't
even
even
have
have
the
the
basics.
basics.
And
And
here
here
they're
they're
pushing
pushing
through
through
this
this
stuff.
stuff.
All of a
All of a
sudden they
sudden they
have the
have the
money
money
for
for
it.
it.
well, they've convinced themselves that this is going to save money somehow, or it's going to make them money, or it's going to make them
that's
money.
probably what it is. It's going to make
That's
them money.
probably what it is. It's going to make them money.
It's
It's
just
That
just
makes it okay.
how
That
quick
quick
makes it
they're
okay.
they're
able to
able to
pull
pull
things
things
off.
off.
How quick
How
they're
quick
able to
they're
pull
able to
things
pull things
off
off
that are
that are
completely
completely
evil and awful and demonic and terrible for
terrible
the
for the
planet.
planet.
Yet
Yet
nothing
nothing
else
else
gets
gets
done.
done.
We
We
still
still
don't
don't
have
have
health
health
insurance and
insurance and
clean
clean
water and
water and
clean
clean
food.
food.
No, and it looks like that's getting worse instead of better. Getting worse instead of better. At the
Well,
moment.
and
Well, and
they
they
use
use
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
water. They
water.
use
They
a lot
use a
of
lot of
resources.
resources.
So it's
So
going
it's going
to
to
jack up
jack up
everything for
everything for
everybody.
everybody.
That is, if
That is,
people
if people
allow it,
allow
there's
it,
still
there's
time to
still
put a
time to put a
stop to it
stop
and for
to it and
people
for
to wake
people to
up and
wake
say
up and say
no.
no.
I mean, a lot
I
of
mean, a
people
lot
are
of people are
fighting it. A lot
fighting
of
it. A lot of
communities have put
communities
a
have
stop
put a
to it.
stop to it.
It doesn't
It
make any
doesn't make any
sense. I
sense.
mean,
I mean,
you
you
poison
poison
you
you
poison the
you
whole
poison the whole
country with
country with
garbage.
garbage.
Spray
Spray
everybody
everybody
and gas
and
everybody
gas
with
everybody with
chemtrails. Give them
chemtrails. Give
garbage
them
food.
garbage food.
And now you want
And now you
AI
want
centers
AI
right in their
centers right in
neighborhoods
their
and to
neighborhoods and
drink up
to
all their
drink up all
water,
their
drink up
water,
all their
drink up
poisoned
all their
water,
poisoned
and
water,
then charge them
and then
even more
charge
for
them
the
even more
poisoned
for the
water.
poisoned water.
It's just
It's just
unbelievable.
unbelievable.
Like,
Yeah.
truth is
Like
stranger
truth
than
is stranger
fiction.
than
All of a sudden,
fiction.
this
All of a
stuff
sudden,
pops up
stuff
out of
pops up
nowhere.
out of
A few
nowhere.
years
A
ago,
few years
there
ago,
weren't any
there weren't any
5G
5G
towers.
towers.
It's
It's
like,
like
what's
what's
a
a
5G
5G
tower?
tower?
You
You know,
you
you
even
even
had
ask.
And
And
now
now they're
every few
every
hundred
few
feet.
hundred feet. I mean,
did we get to vote on it? Was there community input? How did it? Who's paying for it? And what's the environmental impact?
Yeah. Well, there have been
cell phone towers or
cell phone
whatever,
towers or whatever
all over for many
all
years.
over for many years.
It's not like they're really building
It's not
that
like
many
they're really
new
building
places.
that many
They're just putting new
new
technology
places.
into
They're
them.
just putting new technology into them.
It's like they are engineering us into these robotic techno beings that aren't even human anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's what's happening.
And
The generations
coming up.
I mean, they're so blessed and imbued with this technology from. I mean, a lot of these vaccines had strange alien DNA technology in it, and they basically are like antennas for strange, to be programmed
Huh.
by whatever they want them to be programmed with.
Hmm.
And so I mean, I'm really hoping that there can be a return to normalcy
and common sense
and
and
common
stuff.
sense and stuff.
I mean, in some ways, it seems like there's progress. Kennedy's getting some things done in there. That I mean, it's so weird because we shouldn't even have to fight this nonsense. Like it shouldn't even be an issue. And here, we have to just
keep playing catch up
to things that
should have never happened in the first place. Like, he's
like,
getting all the
he's
mercury
getting
out
the mercury out of the
vaccines.
vaccines.
He's
He's
stopping
some
newborn vaccines.
They're
They're
changing the
vaccine
vaccine schedule.
He's making
He's
sure
making
that
sure that
agriculture is now going to be, more chemical free, and it's going to be cleaner. They're going to have less chemicals in the agriculture. So in some ways, there's some hope for us, and we can get smarter and wake up and take back our humanity and take back our earth and planet and take back not that we own the planet, but take back our respect for living upon the planet because without it, we can lose that really quick. And I mean, whatever forces are. I mean, there's multiple forces that are attacking humans right now. So we got to be careful out there. And
Yeah. It's pretty. Yeah. Crazy. It's pretty crazy. Well, do you?
But we have to be strong and prepared.
Do you have a poem or two? Do you have a New Year's poem or two?
I know, it's getting kind of dark. Gosh, Chuck, you know what?
Well, we've used up half our time already. We've used up half our time already. I just thought I'd mention it.
Well, here's the thing. I had forgotten that it was Thursday.
I'm glad you sent out the email today, but I didn't.
Sent out the
You know,
email
like
today,
I didn't.
I was gonna
sit down and write some. Honestly, I wanted to do it today.
I wanted to do it today.
With this rain, I thought it was the
perfect time. I was gonna
scribble out a bunch of
new
stuff.
stuff.
It's not that I don't have stuff. It's that I don't have access to it right now.
Okay, that's fine.
It's
That's
raining and
I
it's dark.
that's fine. I wanted to make sure you had the chance.
I
I wanted to make sure you had the chance if you had. So we'll go back. Okay.
Thanks.
I
appreciate it.
So
yeah. And next month I'll have a bunch of stuff that I have so much material. And by the way,
January
is
a poetry show at the end of this month. There's a poetry show at the end of this month.
At end of January. Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And yeah, I think
I had forgotten that it was the first
day.
I forgot
that
it was
the
Thursday.
It was New Year's Day.
So
I just.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
happy
to do
a
New Year's
Day
show.
On the 29th, we'll have a poetry special. We'll have a poetry and then, of course, you'll be on the following week. And then, of course, you'll be on the following week. First week in February. You got a double header coming up.
You'll hear a lot of my big mouth, Chuck. You hear a lot of my big mouth.
All right. All right.
But well, getting back to what we were talking about, if we're new American dream. This is the new American dream, and we want to make a new world,
a new
American
American dream. And
what does that include?
And what does that include?
And if we have the choice to make it a better world. I mean, all we have to do is just steer it in that direction. There are energies in that direction and our actions. And if we were to do so and create a better world, what would that look like? And are our actions aligned? Is our behavior aligned with our values and actions to create that better world?
They're aligned with.
I mean, none of us are perfect. We're all human, but I think it's gotten more difficult to live as a human,
Right.
and as American lately. And they're making it harder for us. I mean, when you look back at, I mean, you look back on your old photos, your old, family photos and childhood, and even some of the old, like movies and TV, and you see how things were. Like people were healthier, people were better looking, the sky was clear. People were more wholesome. The food was better. There was a family. Like when I think of how they've slaughtered the family unit, I mean, they've torn apart the families and the school system, and have. I mean, we are under a serious attack.
I mean, I can't speak for other countries. I'm assuming it's worse. Maybe it isn't. Some places are better. A lot of quality. When you think of the quality of life for overall humans, the U.S. is not in the top 20. And you know who are Scandinavian countries. All those countries rank high as far as quality of life and overall just human experience.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it can be done. I mean, it can be done. It's not that the fact that it's not being done. You wonder why.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
comes
Really.
back to all the potential and power that we have. If we were really in touch as Americans with our creative abilities, with our connection to the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and the Declaration of Independence, if we were true to that, and lived by it, and made sure that nobody could get beyond it. Nobody could break our laws, and break our sacred contracts with our country. And yet they do it all the time. I mean, we're living under a regime that does nothing but that. And I'm not talking about the current regime Trump. I'm talking about as a collective. It's just it's not there to serve us. Hasn't gotten better. We should be evolving. We should be evolving as a government, and as a government that represents humans, we should be evolving with humans. And not working against them and devolving us and killing us off. I mean, government murders and kills a lot of people.
I know it.
We're
Yeah,
talking about.
I know it.
And if we're not careful, we're victims of it too. So we have to be strong in so many different ways. We have to be strong in our spirit. One, a lot of people overlook that. In our body, a lot of people overlook that too. And in our mind, and in our energy field. I mean, that goes beyond spirit. I mean, we have so many different energy points and chakras and our aura expands out. It's like we want to be able to keep that. When you look at the pictures of saints and figures like Jesus and Buddha, they had light around them. And Mary and the women,
Yeah.
the goddesses, they were enveloped in light. They had a light around them, and that was in their aura. And that was a healing light. And that's why that enabled them just in their presence. People could be healed just by their light. They're very healing light. And when you take that light away from people and diminish their spirit and humanity, which happens with everything all the time, food, entertainment, government, media. We're under constant attack, and we don't realize the energies and frequencies that they pelt out at us all the time, and how we are so unprotected in the way that I described, unless you're actively protecting yourself. Most people don't even know that how much of an attack they're under. I mean, you got to know by now. People see the. I mean, you got to hand it to at least
this
this
administration with the stuff that they're uncovering with the fraud that's
that's
happening
happening in
like
like
Minnesota with
Minnesota with
all that
all
fraud,
that fraud,
billions
billions
gone. I mean,
gone. I
that's
mean,
just the
that's
tip
just
of the
the tip of the
iceberg for
iceberg for
what
what
other parts of the
other parts
government
of the
are doing in
government are
other
doing in
states. I
other
mean,
states. I mean,
Minnesota's a small
Minnesota's
state
a
with a
small state
relatively
with a
small
relatively small
population. Imagine
population.
what it's
Imagine what
California's
it's
like.
California's like.
I mean, it's as
I mean,
corrupt as
it's
it
as
gets.
corrupt as it
Like
gets.
it's
It's like it's
unbelievable, and that they get
unbelievable, and that
away
they
with it
get
is the
away with it
shocker.
is the
And
shocker.
it's one thing to
And it's one
expose it
thing
and
to
uncover
expose it
it,
and
but
uncover
until
it,
these
but until
people
these
are
people
brought
are
to
brought to
justice, I
justice,
mean, the mess
I
that
mean, the
was
mess that
was
was
created
was
by Biden
created by
by
Biden
opening up the
by opening
borders
up the
and
borders
trashing our
and
country with
trashing our country
criminals
with
and
criminals
just
and
destroying
just
the oath of being
destroying the oath of
American
being
and being a
American
citizen
and
and
being a
being
citizen
loyal
and
to
being
the
loyal to the
Constitution.
Constitution.
Okay.
And just ripping our
And
country
just
apart
ripping our country
with,
apart
Well,
with,
you know,
I think
in our culture,
in our
I
culture.
think you're Kool-Aid here. You're swallowing some Kool-Aid here. The borders, the borders have never been
Chuck,
really open.
Chuck, remember,
And
Chuck,
really open. And the
Chuck,
people that
I
come
live in a
in,
blue
I
not
live in
all
a
state.
blue
I'm
criminals.
state.
surrounded by
I'm
blue
Not
surrounded
all
by
states.
blue
criminals.
states.
Chuck, you're sitting
Chuck,
pretty in
you're sitting pretty
a nice red
in a
state
nice red
in a
state
sunny nice
in a
state.
sunny nice
You have no
state.
idea what
You
it's
have
like
no
in these
idea
blue
what it's like
states,
in these
really.
blue
I mean,
states,
I'm not
really.
saying that
I
to
mean,
be
I'm not
critical.
saying that to be
It's
critical.
really a
It's
you know what
really
show.
a you know
I mean,
what
it's
show.
really
I mean,
flooded
it's
with
really flooded with
bad criminals from
bad
other
criminals
countries that
from
are
other
here to destroy
countries
us.
that
I
are here
know
to
it sounds
destroy us.
like
I
that,
know
but
it
it's
sounds like that, but
true.
it's true.
If you lived here
If
and
you
like
lived
went to
here
play
and like went to
really blue
play
cities, you would
really
see it
blue
too.
cities, you would see it too.
It really, I mean, it was an
Really, I mean,
active
it was an
assault
active
upon
assault
our
upon
country.
our
You
country.
couldn't not see
You
it.
couldn't not see
You
it.
should visit.
You should
You know,
visit.
you should
Well,
You know, you should
how is
take a
it that
visit.
you know that
How
the
is it
people
that you know
you're
that
seeing
the people
are
you're seeing
were
were
came from some other country? How do you know they
came
weren't
from
from
some other country? How do you know
United
they weren't
States?
from United States?
well, that's a good
We have
question.
Well, that's a good
created
They're
question.
our own
We
They're
have
underclass.
created
by
We
their
have our own
behavior,
underclass.
by their behavior
by
that was
their
so
behavior that was so
un-American and
un-American
foreign and
and foreign and
uncivilized. I mean, they
uncivilized.
let in
I mean, they let in
literal monkeys.
literal monkeys.
Uh-huh.
That's who they were letting
That's who they
in.
were letting in.
If you saw
If
it and
you
had my
saw it and had
experiences
my
here, you would
experiences
see
here,
it.
you would
Well,
see it.
Very,
all right.
very
Very,
low,
very low,
All right.
jungle
like
people
jungle
that had
people
no respect
that
for
had
our
no
country,
respect
our
for
laws,
our
our
country, our
culture,
laws, our
our
culture,
women, our
our
communities and
women, our
neighborhoods,
communities and
our
neighborhoods,
nothing about
are
the country. They were
nothing
here to
about the country.
destroy the
They were here to
country
destroy the
and
country
take and loot it
and
and take
and
everything
loot
they
it and
could.
take
And you're
everything
seeing
they
it in
could.
places
And you're
like the
seeing
mall.
it in
I mean,
places
you
like
can't
Somal.
deny
I
it
mean,
at
you
this
can't
point.
deny it at this
But I
point.
think it would be
But
nice for
I
you,
think it would be
Chuck. I
nice
mean,
for
it has
you,
gotten better,
Chuck. I
but
mean, it has gotten better, but
visit
visit a
New
blue,
York City
visit
or
New York
LA
City
or
or
Seattle
LA
or
or
Portland
Seattle or
and
Portland
see what those
and
cities are
see
like.
what those cities
I
are
mean,
like.
Well,
I mean,
and
I've
you'll see
you'll
what I'm
see what I'm
talking about. It
talking
has
about. It
gotten
has
better,
gotten
but
better, but
really was
really was
the crime
the
is so
crime is
bad,
so
and the
bad,
drugs are
and the
everywhere. I mean,
drugs are
at
everywhere. I mean,
least they're trying to
at
clean
least they're trying to
that
clean
up
that
and
up and
stop the
stop
drugs
the
coming
drugs
in. There's
coming
a
in.
lot
There's
less
a lot
drug
less
zombies,
drug
but I mean,
zombies,
the
but I
drug
mean, the drug
zombies were
zombies were
everywhere.
everywhere.
well, did
I
you
mean, it was
just
I mean, it was
sad. It was sad
sad. It
to
was
see.
sad
It
to
just
see.
really
It
was
say
the
that
really was the
fall.
Lauderdale
fall.
You just
is
said
a
that
high
Fort
crime,
Lauderdale is
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 on
a
the
high
high crime
crime.
list.
Is on
And
the high crime list.
and so I guess I should be able to
I
see
guess
it right here.
I should be
But
able to see it right here.
I
But I don't know.
we're going to have
I don't
to
know. I
agree to
we're going to
disagree
have
on
to
this one, Ava.
agree to disagree on this
that,
one, Ava.
It just sounded like you're going a little too
It
far.
just sounded
with
like
the,
you're going a
all
little
this
too
about
far
the
with
import.
the
I
All
know
this
it
about
I
sounds
know
like
it
that, Chuck,
sounds
but
like
that's
that,
how it
Chuck, but that's
is.
how
I'm
it
telling
is.
you, it
I'm
sounds
telling you, it
extreme
sounds
because it
extreme
is.
because it is.
If you were
If
there
you were
and you went
there
to these
and you went
places,
to
you
these
would see it
places,
for
you would see
yourself
it
and
for
you
yourself
wouldn't
and
like
you
it.
wouldn't like it.
Really,
Well, okay.
Really,
I don't know what the
I don't know
refusal
what
is.
the
It's
refusal is.
basic,
It's
just
basic,
facts.
just facts.
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
The, co-
okay.
the country was flooded
the
Well,
with
country
all
was
sorts of
flooded
for what
with all
criminals
it's
sorts of
worth,
from
criminals
for
from
what it's worth, the
worth,
borders weren't
for what
open
it's
enough.
worth,
and it was
The borders
and it was
dangerous.
weren't open
Seriously.
Okay, I would basically get rid of borders. I would like to get rid of nations. I would like to get rid of nations. The whole concept, the way that the world is divided up into ridiculous, groups
Chuck,
of people that fight each
this
other
is
all the time.
fight each other all the time. It's
bizarre.
totally
I am.
well, that's why people should stay in their own areas and people shouldn't be invading other countries. They should fix their own countries and fix their own stuff.
We should not be invading half the countries in the world,
pretending that we're the world's,
pretending that
big
we're
brother,
the world's,
the cop,
the big brother,
that's
the
going to
cop,
make everything great for everybody. Because we don't make anything great for anybody. We destroy their countries.
We destroy their countries.
Yeah, but that's not true with a lot of countries. I mean, we haven't destroyed Mexico, and you get a lot, certainly a lot of Mexicans. I mean, there's a lot of countries that haven't been destroyed by the U.S. that were flooded with their. Here's the thing. I wish this weren't true, but humans, a lot of humans are not very evolved, and they're on the. A lot of them are still on the Neanderthal level. They're still tribal. And not. They don't have high intelligence. They don't have high social skills. These are facts, Chuck. I mean, these are just facts. I'm sorry to break it to you. There is a lot of.
It sounds a lot like the.
It sounds a lot like
trying to cleanse the world of everybody who isn't part of the Aryan nation. In the 30s, early 40s in Germany.
Chuck, you gotta not be so naive. You can't have cultures don't mix. You can't mix all the same fish in the same fishbowl. You can't mix cats and rats and mice and dogs and you can't mix them all in the same cage.
I'm pretty sure
Wish it were different. We're more involved
than humans do.
Humans are not there yet. They still need. Humans need to live among their own. I mean, we want to live among those that share the same values for our very protection. And no, one place shouldn't be invading another place. Whoever it's in whatever form it's doing, it's not so much bombs and missiles and old school wars anymore. Although they're still doing that. I mean, this is a big sacrifice. It's a big satanic sacrifice of white men. And white culture to do that in Ukraine. Why don't they just stop? Why don't they just here, take what you want and get it over with? Why spend another penny on a stupid war while people are dying and countries are being wrecked when you could be It's so unbelievable what they get away with.
Agreement on that.
But it's all connected back together. You're right. It creates refugees. And it steals people from their homeland. I mean,
exactly.
The U.S. isn't a lot of countries, like the bigger countries. Yeah, I mean, they should have more strict rules on. Russia is getting away with this. How is Russia getting away with this for so long? And why are they being fought on it for so long? I say if they think it's theirs and they're willing to fight so hard for it, who's anyone else to go in and bomb and just fund them with bombs? They're just providing a lot of arms.
We are because we make money on it.
It all comes down to have a lot of money and
want to make more and control everybody.
Anyway,
it's so beyond simple.
That's what I mean.
Chuck, wait, let me finish. This is what I mean about humans. They're not evolved enough. There's some I don't want living in my neighborhood and this is what I mean on a mass scale. These warmongers. You don't want them living in your country, and you don't want their types. It's in their DNA. It gets encoded in culture's DNA to be warmongers. You don't want them. I wouldn't want them. Do you want them living in your apartment building? I mean, a warmonger. I mean, it's like having psychopaths.
No, I don't want any warmongers.
I'm not even going to.
A lot of humans.
Who they might go into. Who they
might be. We really have to cut this short.
We really have to cut this short. We're out of time. But
it's cute that you think humans are.
I thank you for sticking up for what you want or what you believe and listening, somewhat to me, and we will revisit this another time because it's pretty important stuff, and I love that we're able to actually talk about it. I think that is a key thing that is missing from so many they won't listen to each other.
They won't
So
listen to each other.
let's pursue this the next time, okay?
Let's pursue this the next time, okay?
Okay, you're right, Chuck. Thank you.
You're right, Chuck.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
being
Well,
patient
thank you
and
for being patient
holding your
and
ground too.
holding
And
your ground too. And for
Yeah,
you
you
believe
believe
we all have our
we all have our
different
different
values,
beliefs and
and
values.
exactly.
it's like how
It's
much.
like how much you,
But on the main
but on the
things,
main things,
like having a peaceful
like
world
having
and
a
a better
peaceful
world
world
and
and a better
clean
world and clean
we, that's
water.
what we want, the new
That's
American
what we
dream.
want, the new
How we get
American
there,
dream.
you
How we
take
get there,
this
you
road, I
take
take that road.
this
As long
road,
as
I
we
take
get
that
there,
road. As
we're
long
going
as
to
we
trip
get
along the
there,
way,
we're
and
going to
we're going to
trip
scrape
along
our
the way
knees
and
and
we're going to scrape our
it's going to
knees
be,
and get,
we'll get there.
it's going to be,
But
we'll
one
get
thing I
there.
wanted to say,
But
Chuck,
one
before
thing
we
I
go,
wanted to say, Chuck, before we go, before we,
what I meant to talk about too,
what I
I'm
meant to talk
sorry that
about
I
too, I'm
forgot we got,
sorry that I forgot we got,
off on a tangent, but
off on a tangent, but
Happy New Year.
Happy New
Nothing is
Year.
new under
Nothing is new under
patriarchy. I meant to say
patriarchy.
that.
I meant to say that. Like,
None of this stuff is
none
new.
of this
Oh,
stuff
look, we
is
still
new.
got wars.
Oh,
The
look, we
peace
still got wars.
president
The
still has wars
president
going on
still
and
has
bombs
wars going on and bombs
somewhere on Christmas Day.
somewhere on Christmas Day.
It's just
It's just
Right. I know.
nothing new under patriarchy.
nothing new under patriarchy.
Nothing new under
Nothing
patriarchy.
new
So
under
for
patriarchy.
women,
So
you
for
can imagine
women,
how
you can
irrelevant
imagine how
this
irrelevant this
life experience
life
is, and have to go
experience
through this
is, and
stuff.
have to
It's
go
so
through this stuff.
bad.
It's
It's
so
so
bad. It's so
anti-human and anti-woman.
human and
We feel it the hardest
anti-woman. We
because
feel
it's
it the
our
hardest because it's our
our creative
creations
and our
and
creative
our creative
abilities
abilities that get,
you know, robbed, and the
robbed,
world doesn't
and the
get them.
world
It's a
doesn't get
robbery
them.
of the
It's a
world
robbery of the
because
world
it
because it
keeps us
keeps us
held
held
back.
back.
Yeah. All right,
And that's what's so
I've got to
sad
move
about
on
it.
to
On to
Phil.
Phil.
It's so simple.
I've got to move
All
on
right,
to
Chuck.
Phil.
Happy New Year.
Thank
Lots of love.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New
I
Year.
look forward
And
to talking to you
I
in
look
about
forward to
4 weeks.
talking to you in about 4 weeks.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Our next guest of the evening is Philip Ferruggio. Philip joins me from Port Orange, Florida. And we call this segment "It's the Empire." Stupid.
Yeah,
It's the Empire, stupid.
Yeah.
Hey, there he is.
Throwing a beer here.
There he
Waiting
is.
for my buddy to call me. Waiting for my
Ah,
buddy
well,
to call me.
we had an exciting segment going.
I'm hearing.
All right. So I finally did put up
I finally did
that
put up
latest,
that
everything's
post,
exciting but
that
my
latest,
segment.
post.
Everything's
your
exciting but
segment,
my segment.
yeah, it is.
Hey, your segment.
I hope you looked at it online. I
hope you looked at it
I'm
online.
hearing my own. Listen, I'm hearing my own voice. It's hard for me to do this because I keep hearing my own voice. Because I keep hearing my own voice.
Let me. I don't know how to.
Yeah, it's very loud. Yeah, it's very loud.
Stop that.
Too. It's all right. All right. Yeah. Have you figured it out, or? Yeah.
I
Have
don't
you
know.
figured it out, or?
I don't know.
How come this always happens? It's weird, huh? How come this always happens?
You're the only one that it happens for. You're the only one that it happens for. I don't know why it is.
Yeah, so what do I do? I'm having trouble. Yeah, so what do I do? I'm having trouble hearing myself talk. I keep hearing myself do it on. All right, I'll have to do it. How am I going to do this?
I don't know.
All right, I'll have to do it with this.
I don't know.
All right, I'll have to do it with this way. I'll have to. Wait. All right, let me see if I can. Wait, I just have to read it to you, so I won't hear myself. I just have to read it to you, so I won't hear myself. Do you hear me, Chuck? Do you hear me doing it with the echo? Do you hear me, Chuck? Do you hear me doing it with the echo?
I have heard you, and I don't hear any echo.
I have
heard you, and I don't hear any echo.
Chuck, okay, well, I'm hearing my own echo. All right, so I'll just... I'm hearing my own echo. All right, so I'll just read it because I can't have a conversation with you. I can't have a conversation with you. Okay, forget it, Jake. It's Trump Town. Okay, forget it, Jake. It's Taking a bit from the 1974 hit movie Chinatown, this writer can see Chinatown. This writer can see almost the comparisons. Chinatown, directed by Roman Polanski. Chinatown, directed by Robert Towne script, and directed by Roman Polanski with the mind you, the film takes place in post-World War II 1940s. Yet is a precursor. The film takes place in post-World War II 1940s. Yet is a precursor to what is going on in Trump 2.0. All the myriad of scandalous government affairs, this current one takes all the myriad of scandalous government affairs, or a few days ago, this current one takes the cake. The Department of Justice yesterday continues to release thousands. Originally, they were to be only redactions of the names and photos of the Epstein victims. Originally, they were to be only redactions of the names and photos of the Epstein victims, a.k.a. survivors. Yet, once Trump and his cabal could not get his own party minions to refuse to sign the papers, the cover-up went into the full release of the files. The cover-up went into play big time. By redacting names. They got that opening by redacting names and was doing photos and videos of who knows who was doing the dirty deeds with these underage girls. Well, how did they do that? Well, they got Attorney General Bondi to begin new investigations of figures like Bill Clinton and Larry Summers and other Democrats and use that ploy to legitimize the redactions. Then yesterday, the news came out that many of the victims who had chosen to remain anonymous had their names and other info unredacted. Done out of spite? Now, was this done out of spite? Perhaps to put a cloud of terror over these women. Either way, it's sick. Back at the Oval Office, Sleepy Creepy Donald figures a good new war, this time with Venezuela, can get the MAGA gang marching for Old Glory and forgetting about Epstein Trump. While he has fishing boats and speedboats blown up from high above, killing already, I think it's over 100 human beings. I think it's over 100 human beings. And Rubio, Hegseth, inform us how threatened we all are. All you need to do is pull out the usual commie card, along with the ever familiar narco terrorist Donald already sent in the military against the Posse Comitatus Act to save selected American cities from terrorist protesters. Remember what went on in 2003 regarding Iraq. All the BS about WMDs was simply about oil and regime change. Now we can easily state it's about keeping the Trump cabal and super rich friends safe from the one thing that the corrupt and evil always fear. The truth. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't the one I thought you were going to read. But it's another good one.
Let me see if it stopped. Yeah, I think it stopped. The echo. I think it stopped. Yeah, the echoes. How come that echo comes on like that? How come that echo comes on like that? That's weird, huh? Anyway, it stopped.
I have no idea why it would have stopped. I have no idea why it would have stopped and why it was there before. So it's just really weird.
That's good to know.
It's just really weird.
That's good to know. Is there a God? I don't know. Is there a God? I don't know.
Pretty much.
Anyway, okay. Happy New Year.
Pretty much.
Anyway,
Happy New Year, Philip.
Chuck. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Philip.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Lorraine. Happy New Year, Lorraine. Wherever she may be. Lorraine.
She said Happy New Year. I don't know if you heard her.
She
said Happy New Year. I don't know if you heard her.
She's there. Okay, I heard her. Yeah, I heard. Thank you.
All
Yeah,
right.
I heard. So, Chuck, thank you. So, what do you think of my piece? Chuck, let's talk about. So, what do you think of my piece?
Yeah.
Let's talk about.
Well, it's
yeah. Forget it, Jake.
Well, it's
Forget it, Jake.
yeah, right. yeah, right. Well,
you know, the end of that movie. The end of that movie. Yeah, that was the end of Chinatown. That was the end of Chinatown. It's starting again now.
Yeah.
It's starting again now.
Yeah.
Okay, now it stopped. Okay. The end of Chinatown. The end of Chinatown was when the guy, his partner says, forget it, Jake. His partner says Chinatown. Forget it, Jake. It's Chinatown. It's just a great, great line. It's just a great, it's a great line. Forget it, Jake. You know, because it's the super rich. Forget it, Jake. You know?
Yeah.
It's the super rich. Yeah, they control everything. Yeah, they control. Here's the trivia.
Yeah.
Here's the trivia. The guy that played his partner. The guy that played his partner. Who said that to him? The guy who said that to him. The actor's name is Joe Mantell. The actor's name is Joe Mantell. Joe Mantell, 18 years earlier. Joe Mantell, 18 years earlier. Angie in the movie Marty. Angie in the movie Marty. What do you want to do tonight, Marty? I don't know. What do you want to do tonight, Marty? I don't know. What do you want to do, Angie? I don't know. What do you want to do tonight, Marty? I don't know. What do you want to do? That was the same actor. Joe Mantell.
I don't think I know that movie. I don't think I know that movie. That's interesting, but I don't know that movie at all. That's interesting, but I don't know that movie at all.
You don't know the movie Marty? You don't know the movie Marty? Really?
No.
That won the Academy Award, 1955.
Really?
It was about the butcher in the Bronx. It was about the butcher in the Bronx, the had trouble meeting women, that had trouble meeting with his mother. Live with his mother.
No, it doesn't sound familiar at all. No, it doesn't sound familiar at all. Look it up.
Oh wow!
I guess I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, it came out. It came out the 70 years. 70 years ago. It came out. Ago. They won the Academy Award. Yeah. Anyway, the actor played. So. Anyway, the actor played. So what do you want to talk about, Chuck? I know you have other segments that are much more exciting. So what do you want to talk about, Chuck?
No, not at all. I love all these segments. No. I love all these segments. On the last one, Abba was talking about all the people, the criminals coming over the borders, and it's getting fixed up now. I kind of against that, saying that was stood up against that, saying that was. So we had quite a fiery discussion.
So you're saying that your guest believes that the criminals are coming over the border?
Yes, and at least now that's getting straightened out by this great new administration.
Oh, really? That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
There are other things that are so great about them, but in general, she really likes a lot of what they're doing, and a lot of what they're doing. And that's why I like to have people on all sides of it. Exactly.
That's what makes it America, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, well,
exactly.
Yeah. All I can say is this. All I can say is this. For every person who comes over the border, supposedly who's a criminal. I'm sure there's criminals all over the place. I would say there's probably 1,000. I would say there's probably 1,000 are out there that working picking fruit and vegetables, dishwashers, making the beds, cleaning the rooms in the hotels, making the beds, cleaning the rooms in the hotels. How about the nannies for all the nannies for all the wealthy women? They're all foreigners.
Yeah.
They're all foreigners. So right. Of course there's criminals. There's criminals. Yeah, of course there's criminals. Like I said, there's criminals coming out of the White House. Those are criminals too, right? Those
Right.
are criminals too, right?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Well, here's my point. What the administration is doing, what the administration is doing to the boats outside of Venezuela, that's a criminal act. That's actually murder. That's a criminal act. That's actually murder. They're doing having jets shoot the missiles and blow these trucks. That is murder.
Mm-hmm.
That is extrajudicial murder. That's what it is. And it's extrajudicial murder. It's a sin. That's what it is. And it's a more sin. People are not outraged. It's a sin that more people are not outraged about criminals coming over the border, as opposed to worrying about criminals coming over the border. There's criminals who are to blow up boats, giving orders to blow up boats and to kill people, or to take American citizens. Or people who have the proper credentials, or people who have grabbing the proper credentials and just grabbing them in the streets and just dragging them off center. A week later, and then a week later, we made a mistake. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Trump Town.
Yeah.
This is Trump Town. Trump Town. Forget it, Jake. This is Trump Town. Forget it, Jake. It's Trump Town. We are living. We are living in a Woody Allen film. This is a Woody Allen. This is a Woody Allen black comedy. This is a Woody Allen black comedy. I mean, if you look at if you look at everything that Trump and his administration is doing, Trump and his administration is the opposite of what should be done. Is the opposite of what should be done. They're doing everything. They're making tariffs out. They're making tariffs out, which you and I are paying for when we buy products. The tariffs, right?
Right.
The tariffs, blowing up these boats. Demanding. Demanding that gets rid of their leader because the country gets rid of their leader because we don't like the leader. Or that they stole our oil. Or that they stole our oil. They stole our oil from our oil companies when they nationalized. How many years ago was that? How many years ago was that? Everything that this administration is doing should be done. Is the opposite of what should be done. Scary.
Well,
making tax cuts.
Well,
making tax cuts will affect the very wealthy. The very wealthy. 90% of the benefit of those tax. 90% of the benefit of those tax cuts. Cutting funding from Medicaid. Funding from Medicaid. It's funny because it's funny because as lousy as the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare, was, as lousy as it is, as Noam Chomsky told me this. Email debate with him. Email debate with him. In 2009. Not a debate, but a conversation. And Chomsky 2009 at the time. And Chomsky said, you got to hold your nose. He said, look. He said that because it'll save lives.
Said what?
Even though it's not. You got to hold your nose. Now that's 16 years later. What they're doing, what Donald Trump's administration is doing, him and the people around him, it's criminal.
Well.
Yeah. Well, anyway. So, Chuck, that's all I can tell you is that we're in a time period.
Yeah, it's pretty strange times.
Chuck, I'm here.
What?
I hear myself on the radio.
What?
Even if I have two of me on the show,
No, there's only one of you. I don't know why you're getting that back to you. It's so weird. I wish I knew how to fix it. But
yeah.
I mean, because
Well,
there are other people that I
sometimes you
call
can't
by
fix it,
phone,
you know, it's the way it
and
is.
they don't seem to have that issue. So I can only think it must
Well,
be something on
just
your end,
look
but
up
I
the
don't
movie
know what.
Marty,
Huh?
and enjoy the movie Marty. I'm sure you'll like it.
Yeah, I will see if I can't get a chance to watch that. It it sounds pretty good, and sounds like a different kind of a role for Ernest Borgnine. That's interesting.
I'm afraid to talk because I hear myself talking, so I gotta be careful.
Huh.
I'm afraid.
Okay.
It's unbelievable. Well, anyway.
Well, we'll have to see if we can't, figure that out and solve it, because I know you've complained about that before, but I just don't understand why nobody else has the same issue. Maybe they just ignore it. Who knows? Maybe they're not listening to me either.
It's hard to.
Anyway, I wish you I wish you all the best in this coming year, and
Thank you. I wish you the best.
Well, thank you. Let's
okay,
make it a good
we
one.
both wish you the best.
Okay.
Okay, I'll talk to you next week. Okay.
All right. Sounds good, Philip. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Sorry for the
Bye-bye.
technical issues. All right, so that was Philip Ferrugio joining us from Port Orange, Florida. And we are kind of counting down to our station break now. But let me remind you that we're broadcasting on Revolution Radio, and it's a listener-supported station. They keep 2 streams of shows going pretty much 24/7. A lot of very dedicated people, and it's all listener-supported. I kick in a little bit via Patreon. That's one of the options. There are several different ways that you can help them out. Just visit them at revolution.radio and take a look. You can send them money, and pretty much any way you can think of, you can probably send it to them. But they're very smart people, and they'll make it work. And they do set monthly goals, which are important because they cover the expenses of running the station, because it's not cheap to have all that stuff going. So it's a worthy cause, and like they say, it's where information never speaks and truth breaks the spell. And what I always say is it's the last bastion of free speech in America. That makes it important. And I like this show to also be one of the last bastions of free speech in America. That's why I was overjoyed, really, that at having some quite different views from ABBA, and us, both trying to state our case, and it's so much more interesting when people don't agree, but they can actually talk about it and stay friends. That's so important. All right. That's a good thing to close this first hour on. Coming up on the other side of the station break, we will have we'll have Frank Cordero from the Des Moines Catholic Worker. We will have some poems read by Michael Annis, and we will have a presentation by our African correspondent, Julius Awafong, joining us from Yaoundé, Cameroon. So don't miss it. Talk to you on the other side of the station break, folks.
Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message.
Are you interested in the paranormal? Murder mystery? Real natural law? Do you enjoy interviews with amazing guests? Then join Crip Rick every Monday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Revolution Radio. Studio A, freedomslips.com. Crip Rick's Ivory Thinker. Welcome to the Crypt.
Do you want to really get to the roots of good health and stay strong for the storms ahead? Then listen to Bridget's Well, Healing with the Elements of Life. Tuesdays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Studio A, where stories are shared about traditional foods, Chinese medicine, and simple, healthy living skills. Listen to Bridget's Well, Tuesdays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, Studio A, right here on Revolution Radio.
Welcome to Coffee Rants with Dan. I am the spiritual anarchist, Dan Arnold, your host. Tune in for what's really happening every Thursday. That's Thursday at 9 a.m. in Studio A on Revolution Radio. They keep us in fear to manipulate us. They want us ignorant so we're easier to enslave. They make us murder one another so they don't have to do it themselves. Only you can break their mind control by healing the contradictions within your belief systems that allow you to accept their lies in the first place. The time has come for us to remember our divinity, who we really are, to return to what we are meant to be, a service to others, to return to nature, and to reclaim our birthright, that which is freedom. The truth will sound belligerent because it is in direct opposition to lies. So get angry, because anger is sacred, and together we can unite and rise. Rise from this darkness. Humanity, assemble.
Mountain High Time, 2 hours of an organization to the madness, discussing the ever-changing dynamics of being both physically and mentally prepared for a plethora of possible outcomes to our future and present. A look into the latest technologies, new scientific discoveries, and how they might be used in connection to the human domain and controlling it, ancient cultures and places. Be warned. This is an opinionated look through headlines. Guests that are not afraid to question the narrative. A little bit of crazy ramblings of a stoner conspiracy factist that pushes constitutional concepts. The place and the time are the same, another dimension we call Mountain High Time. Saturdays 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Mountain High Time, right here on Revolution.radio, where information never sleeps and truth breaks the spell.
The rooster has crowed out the opening bars of a new day. You've dragged yourself out of bed. You turn on your device. You want to know what's going on in the world. But you're hungry for a topical show that serves up those breakfast headlines just that little bit differently. Do you like your early morning news the way you like your eggs over easy? Served with slathers of salsa-like sass? Do you like those first headlines of the day to deliver a punch as powerful as that first cup of joe? Join Mitchell Bupp at his breakfast table for Revolution in the Morning, where he will digest, dissect, and dismantle those new day's national and global news headlines with razor-sharp relish. Find Mitchell here at revolution.radio every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Eastern on Studio B.
Thank you for listening to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. Any commercial advertising you may hear in this program is of the sole discretion and benefit of the host of whose program you are listening to. Revolution Radio does not endorse any commercial products, nor does it accept monetary compensation for on-air advertising of commercial products, nor will it ever. We are and shall remain 100% listener supported. Any product advertising on this program are considered used at higher risk, and Revolution Radio shall not be held liable for any claims or damages received from any product advertised within this program. Revolution Radio, where information never sleeps. All right, thanks for listening while we take that short break here at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. And now we're going to get back to your host.
Welcome back, everyone, to the New American Dream radio show, streaming live on Revolution Radio and also on our YouTube channel, the New American Dream radio show YouTube channel. Alrighty then. Our next guest of the evening would have been Mark Jordan, but he wasn't able to get a call in from the prison, and so we are substituting the rest of the presentation we had last week from Michael Annis. Michael Annis brought us a number of poems from different poets that are recently published in a new anthology, and it was very good, and that was also pre-recorded, and I wasn't timing it, so well, it went too long. So when I prepared it for last week's show, I had to cut out the final three poets that he presented. And so, well, tonight we have the opportunity to hear the rest of that. So we're going to hear about three poets, and we'll hear a little bit of their a bio and a little bit about them, and then hear a poem from them. Here we go. This is Michael Annis. Enjoy it.
Okay, so the next poet is Robert Stewart. I worked with Bob. He was eventually became. I worked with him probably more than any of these other people. Bob and I many projects and publications, including new letters, and also for a magazine, which we did regularly for the Kansas City Artists Coalition. Yeah, so, which was a pretty big deal. I mean, there's a significant number of very fine artists, visual artists, and they all in that Kansas City area, the Kansas, Missouri area, all the way to Lawrence and so forth, St. Louis. But I mean, people come from all over to show their work and so forth. And the Kansas City artists too, goes without saying. Anyway, Bob Stewart, I'll read his bio first, and then we'll get to himself. Bob Stewart. Very, I'm glad I said a lot about Bob because this is a very short bio, and
okay.
he's a modest man, and he's done some pretty incredible things. A lot of people leaned on Bob to help them through when they had issues and problems, and places that needed somebody who could be trusted to conduct themselves with a great amount of responsibility and dedication. Bob Stewart's latest book of poems is Working Class, Stephen F. Austin State University, and latest book of essays is The Narrow Gate, Writing, Art, and Value, Serving House Books. He's of Prairie Village, Kansas. I also worked on if I remember correctly, was his very first collection of poems titled Plumbers, and it was about his father's occupation. And he used metaphorically of plumbers and applied it to various experiences in life. Great book, Plumbers, Bob Stewart. That was through Bookmark Press.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead and where'd it go? Okay, Bob Stewart, listen. Get there. Sidewalk philanthropist. $5 bills whirl with the patron of our dreams. One man abandons his family in the intersection. A teenage boy rounds the block 3 times for $15. Like the incredible money machine at the local car showroom, deals down at this corner require a short public dance. Sons break through spending money dispensed without advice. A woman leans through a bus window yelling, here I am, trapped like those who hesitate, fingers at their lips. Everyone has a story to tell, how they looked into his eyes for the bountiful spirit, how they settled for the fin. Next poet, Albert Goldbarth. I worked with him. In fact, in my book, he gave me, and Bob did too, and David, but they all gave me really glowing blurbs from my book, Howling at the End of the World. So, Albert Goldbarth. I'll read his bio first. One of the funniest, I've actually read some of his poems before on New American Dream. But one of the funniest writers that I know of. Plus, he can get very, very serious and writes pretty amazing essays as well, including one that I worked on for the Laurel Review, Northwest Missouri, where William called Delft. It was about the plagues in Europe. Albert Goldbarth has been publishing notable books of poetry for over 35 years. 2 of which phone calls. 2 of which have received the National Book Critics Circle Award. He is the recipient of the Poetry Foundation's Mark Twain Poetry Award, American Poetry for To Be Read in 500 Years, published by Grey Wolf Press. He lives in Wichita, Kansas. He taught at Wichita State University and held the chair in literature there too. Okay, here we go. Thanks for your patience, Chuck.
Okay.
I certainly am glad that. Okay, Albert Goldbarth, finance. My father never bought a single share of stock in his life. He'd learned from my grandfather who, in quotes, lost everything in the stock market crash and watched his money drifting toward the horizon as if frozen in the center of a calved-off chunk of glacier. Goodbye, implacably and mysteriously, and one way only. Goodbye, goodbye. This story is the same as Shell's, who, twice a week for 7 years, unpacked and webbed the labyrinthine warrens of her psyche for her therapist, the kindly Dr. Yun Shen, in that room of eggshell-colored walls, one fern at her lavish confessions. In the winter of that 7th year, he died in a box at the symphony. In taking his life, the heart attack took her investment with it. And one more.
Okay.
Wow.
This is a poet who I am not familiar with, but reading through this book, and you can spend a lot of time reading through the book. The book is amazing. It's just filled with gems. Mervyn Taylor, I'm going to read his bio first. Mervyn Taylor, a Trinidad-born poet and Brooklyn resident, taught at Bronx Community College, the New School, and the New York City public school system. His 7 books of poetry include The Waving Gallery, Country of Warm Snow, and a Poetry Book Society recommendation list for the Bocas Lit Prize. His chapbook is News of the Living, Corona Poems, and A Common Place. He serves as co-editor on the advisory board of Slavering Hole Press. Okay, Mervyn Taylor. Mervyn Taylor. Mervyn Taylor, The Asking Price. One day, someone will buy us out of our home and throw our things into the yard, and we'll accept it gladly. The flood having damaged mostly everything anyway. There'll be no our houses, and the windows will be left facing the other way. So whatever star we used to wish upon will resume its journey without having seen us. It will be assumed that we have died, and the sun will cancel its light. We'll resemble a prune, shriveled and tart, salt having become our staple, and ash our pollen.
Interesting. Well, thanks, Michael Annis, for reading that. And I'm glad that I got to share them with you tonight, listeners. Very, very interesting poems. And, okay. So, our next guest is also pre-recorded. It's Frank Cordero, who spoke with me earlier from the Des Moines Catholic Worker. And I'm going to play that for you right now.
Chuck.
Hello, Frank. Happy New Year.
Happy. To work out the kinks of getting back online and doing this video-wise.
Yeah, we'll get it, but this is fine for now.
Wonderful. Hope the pizza was good. So,
yeah.
Yet another week. It's absolutely dark here. I mean, it's like night. And because it's 5:30, it's just a reminder that sun has a lot to do with our lives, in our days,
True.
and our nights.
Yeah.
So, that's going on, and the weather has its own way of creating, emotional situations, or joy, or happiness, or sadness, or accent stuff. So I think this is just a tough time through the year. And the older I get, the more these seasons mean something. I can remember when I was young and people would say this and that about the weather, but it doesn't bother me. But when you're young and you haven't experienced gravity over a long time, you still think you're kind of really independent or invincible.
Yeah, exactly. Indestructible.
Indestructible. And we're all, as we age, we're all learning about ourselves and lives in the world around us. And I've been thinking about my rage and anger that I have in me, and it's all about for me, it's about the failure of U.S. Christianity, and particularly the Catholic crowd, and how much I've invested my life as a Catholic and a priest. I mean, I'm a disgruntled Catholic. Now, there's a lot of people who are mad at the church, who are or have been Catholics. Many of them leave the church. However, a disgruntled Catholic doesn't leave the church, or he wouldn't describe himself. He left the church. I wouldn't describe myself as a disgruntled Catholic. I describe myself as an ex-Catholic.
When we have quite a number of what we call recovering Catholics in our Episcopal Church.
Yes, and that's all great. I mean, I'm just kind of aware that I am too much invested in this scene personally.
Oh yeah, of course.
To leave it, even though I have nothing but extreme rage in me that just says, "Oh God!" And of course, in a hierarchical system, if you got a beef, you go to the top. So it's the bishops that I'm really, if I point out a group of people, they fit the group quite well. And as I'm fond of saying, this isn't just a Catholic issue, even though we're the biggest and the worst in the world, because we have this history. And on the other hand, we also have the most redeeming quality as a denomination, because the majority of Catholics in the world are poor. And they don't live in the United States. Oh, yeah. When you add Africa and Latin America and South America, you got large Catholic populations who are really poor. The poor. I got a chance to visit them. When I went down to Osaba.
Yeah, right.
With Bob's ashes. I mean, that the first night they had this 3-hour vigil for Bob in the home that he stayed in when he went to work in Berlin, and the place was filled, and they said the rosary, they had sermons, and I'm telling you, it was a thoroughly Catholic thing. And so it's I mean, I'm bragging because we're poor. It may save us.
I can relate. I understand that. Yeah.
but I'm in my own space, and I'm at 74, and next month I'm going to turn 75. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of thinking about that, and I when I think about it, it was three priests that really made a difference in my life.
No.
Two of them were in college. Campus ministry really helped me work through some stuff. But the third one is got to be Bishop Morris Dingman. I don't think I'd be here in this diocese. I don't think I would have been a priest if it wasn't for him. I mean, he's the one who accepted me back for ordination after I dropped out and started a Catholic worker. He's also the one that gave me a sense of the church that was dialogical. That people, dialogue begins with the people you disagree with, and you need to keep talking to them. Mm-hmm. And he did that to a fault. He really did. And he, of course, and then I do not have his temperament. The man had no guile. He took insults and just was so gracious. I'll come out and kind and try to assert myself and my sense of who I am.
Right.
I deliberate in a strong way. I know Morris wasn't like that. Yeah. I'm just thinking about the bishop because I'm realizing I'm going a rage about the church, specifically its ordinations. I that system, and right. For its good and its bad. Mm-hmm. So I'm working on what am I going to do with my rage. And one of the things that prompting me to think in these terms is that among the many generous donations we've been getting and pay the bills, I donate from the bishop.
Really?
Yeah. Well, where is this coming from? But thank you, and I'm going to pray about it. I just do. I could rage, but I don't know whether I want to rage the rest of my life. I don't know if I want to. I mean, there's no way getting around the obstacle of being Catholic for me, and seeing the church for its great dishonesty in a contemporary sense. And by that I mean my whole idea that U.S. Christianity, whether Catholic or Episcopalian or Presbyterian, they all suffer the same deficiency in the sins of omission, in which no one takes on the issue of wealth or war or empire, which is explicitly in the New Testament, but conveniently not brought up in the U.S. And I'll go to the grave with that because I feel called to make that your message, make that my message, because that's kind of what I've been carrying in my following of Jesus. I'm really again a Jesus freak, fanatic.
Yeah.
So I play that card all the time, and I didn't say I was all right about it, but I'm all right about it. I don't know. I'm questioning not my core stuff, but how I go about things. I can't get in too much trouble here. I'm pretty much run out of being an organizer. I just don't. I don't have the I don't have any of the organizing skills. Simply to use the computer and get on a mailing service and whatever. All those things I just have temperament to now, and and I'm all right with going to the world blind to computers. I don't. It's just it just is a different space for me to be here at my age instead of like where I was 10 or 15 years ago with mailing lists and organizing and showing up for demos. And don't regret doing any of that. I just, and I'm glad I did, and I do it again. I'm just in a different place in my life. It's a very I hate to brag, but I even sort of like, you do this long enough, the habit becomes true. I mean, the Kool-Aid, you drink it and you believe it. The phrase, fake it till you make it.
Right, that was mine when you were you were saying that.
So here we are. I'm all, the Catholic thing. So I am, and I'm all right with it. And I'm also again hopeful in the Des Moines Worker House and where we're going. Even though it looks bleak right now as far as numbers and people. I just believe so much that the addition of Jessica Resnicek coming back to the community in the next couple months, and the continued health of Julie Brown, who's been suffering from a concussion, that will continue. And those two women have a magic about them that I'm more than grateful to pass on the mantle of the worker into their hands, along with Araceli Richards.
I was wondering about it.
Oh, God. She's amazing. I mean, so we got this triad of good women and seasoned women and women who've paid a price. So that's that I'm just very grateful for. Yeah. And I'm on the personal level. I'm along with my brother Joe. We're trying to visit my older sister as much as we can in Ankeny. It's another 20 miles out of town at a rehab place where she suffered from breaking her neck. That is no easy thing.
Really?
And she's 79, so...
I mean, breaking anything at 79 is challenging. Wow.
And that's and she's got to come out.
Oh, boy.
And she's got heart conditioning, so Mamma Mia.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
We're walking.
Scary stuff,
Yeah, we're walking, and that's... But again, when getting older, my circle of friends are less than it used to be. I get newsletters from people I used to go visit on a regular basis. I'm just going to write them and thank them for our shared lives. And we haven't been able to connect in recent times. The roots go deep. I'm thinking about the folks in Baltimore, Brenda and Willa, who operate Viva House. They started their community in Baltimore as the hospitality house for the Catonsville Nuns.
Really? Wow.
And they were right in the midst of all of that.
So Berrigan's and all that. Yeah.
So that's really great people. And there's people in let's see, Milwaukee's better than 50 years. Of course, the LA Catholic work is better than they're like 55 years. So there's a number of these houses that were started by baby boomers, and they're all kind of like checking out. Vince Irene was one of those folks from Pittsburgh. So it's seeing a generation, move to the last tier and exit. And that's kind of, it's all new. They haven't been here before, and it's all short term. There's no long term goal to. And and the anticipation. Once you get into an anticipatory spirit, and of course. With Resnicek, that all started when she got sent to a halfway house in October.
Right, sure.
So my prayer, dear God, let me live long enough to see Jessica Resnicek free. Turn to more of an excited, anticipatory prayer that now she's halfway. A halfway house in Des Moines, she's halfway out. That means she's halfway here. And they're telling us within months.
Wow.
And that changes my my anticipation energies.
Mm-hmm.
Like really going to live long enough to see her free and help her and embrace her and do anything we can to make the transition from prison to the worker a bonding transition.
Yeah.
Apparently, the government's going to help us because they're going to sell Julie's house under house arrest with the ankle thing. We have no idea how that's going to play. But it's got to be better than where she's at right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's
well, I'm sure that the radius will be at least big enough to go over to go to the other houses, right?
See the other houses just to help with the hospitality. We'll see. I mean, we got to ask, and you got to work through these guys, whoever they are. So that's all to be found out and discovered. But once she's here in the flesh, man, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It just becomes a daily checking point, and we grow from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like a lot of good things and a lot of challenges all coming up, and so that's kind of the way life is in general. I think is that we have look forward to and things we don't look forward to so much, but we could just keep on plugging and solve problems and.
And most of all, for me, these are issues of my own making. I mean, I am so bullheaded in my life. I'm so clear that I did it my way or not.
Oh well, I think we all are that way.
Some more than others, and I'm just owning it up, man.
Okay.
And I'm if I do find myself in a pickle, it's a pickle of my own making, and I can get over it. And it's a mixed bag. Just like the day is a mixed bag. You know, I don't know about you, but it takes me a couple hours really to get up and feel good. You know, do those several spots at the bathroom, making it work. The coffee, definitely got to have the coffee, and just maybe an hour or two just to poop and drink coffee and get something in my bloodstream with the food. And just wake up. But once I'm there, I've been walking in this cold.
Yeah, but that's good. That's very good.
It really is. It's really a blessing. Now I'm sore when I go to bed, and I'm tired. Bitch moan. But I'm just amazed at the way in which I cook 3 meals a week for that's a lot of work, and I like doing it.
I know you do, and that's
just
great.
Like doing it. I'm really grateful. Yeah.
All right.
So, all right, brother.
Thank
you. Happy New Year.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year. You do great work.
I will get to work with you. I will get on the tube. I'll find out how to make it work.
All right. Sounds good. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jeff. Bye.
Well, all right, everyone. That was Frank Cordero from the Des Moines Catholic Worker. And now it's time for our final guest of the evening, our correspondent from Cameroon, Julius Alafong. Welcome to the show, Julius.
Hi, Chuck.
Hello. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Chuck. Happy New Year to everyone on the show. We are happy to be back in 2026.
Yeah.
So this time around, it's good we talk about the book that we just recently published, because the book itself embraces one of the realities of contemporary Africa, that is military coup in politics, the intervention of the military in politics. So this book, which is published by CWG Press. That's yourself. December last year. It's entitled Military Coup and Political Transition in Africa, and the subtopic is Evolution and Conflict Dynamics. It is a contribution from 4 authors, myself, that's Julius Awafong, Samuel Ilkoge, who is a postdoctoral researcher now in Britain, Derek F. Kinang, who is a PhD holder in political science in Cameroon, and Cedric Kibang, who is also pursuing his PhD in Cameroon. So the interest in studying military coups in Africa also stems from statistics revealing the advent of coups in the world, where coups were compared in different regions of the world. That is in Latin America, in Asia, in the Middle East, and in Africa. So these statistics reveal that coup attempts occurred in Latin America once every 4 months.
Whoa.
In Asia, once every 7 months. In the Middle East, once every 3 months. That is between 1944 and 1972. But in Africa, between 1960 and 1972, coup attempts occurred every 55 days. We begin to question that. Why so? So coup continued in most of Africa from the 1960s up to the 1990s, where it was believed that with the advent of the third wave democratization process, coups will drastically reduce, if not put an end to military intervention in politics in Africa. Unfortunately, that seems not to be the case. Recently, we have observed with consternation how the state in Africa has been characterized by an upsurge of military intervention in politics. So this book attempts to answer so many questions in relation to the state in Africa and its ability to sustain democracy. Why is democracy, which is relatively succeeding in other regions of the world, unable to sprout in most of Africa? Civilian leaders who come to power via electoral democracy and the military leaders who use force to overthrow what they consider as unproductive civilian rule all end up driving the state in Africa in a path of economic, social, and political decline. Is it that both groups, that is the civilian government and the military rulers, are bad, or are made up of bad or made up of unconscious breed of people? After many African states, we can trace this from the fact that after African states, many of them gained independence in the early 1960s, there was a lot of hope for a brighter future. Africa compared itself and thought it would embrace development and eventually succeed like most so-called developing states of the world that were also colonized. But the difference lies in the fact that Africans and international policymakers refuse to acknowledge the fact that the external colonial creation of the state in Africa, something that happened nowhere else in the world, was a major setback in Africa's development. In other words, the state in Africa that we have today was imposed on Africa, resulting in what can be referred to as double colonization. So, the end of colonization, which was viewed as a turning point around the world, did not come out to be true in Africa. While other parts of the world that were colonized sent away the colonizers and re-embraced their original states that preceded colonization, Africa on its part sent away the colonizers but kept the states that were created by the colonizers as a medium for colonization. So, while being Africans, we functioned in a predominantly political, economic, and social setup that was put in place by the colonial masters. This is considered one of the most important reasons why unproductive governance by both the civilian and military regimes keep inviting military coups or the military in politics. So this book is divided into 4 chapters. The first chapter compares the number of military coups from the 1960s to the 1990s to those that were staged between 1990s and the year 2000s. 2020s. So this is where I work on. So Julius Awafong discovered that the number of military coups in sub-Saharan Africa from 1960 to 1990, that is 3 decades of authoritarian rule, is almost equivalent to the coup between 1990 and the 2020s. That is 3 decades of so-called democratization process. I therefore attempt to find out the distinguishing factors or causes of military coups in these eras, and the contributing factors that led to their emergence. In analyzing, I found out that the multi-party system and the democratization process have been unable to quell the resurgence of military coup in politics. The second chapter looks at how the state of Ghana has succeeded in shedding away the shackles of military coup by adopting strategies that have helped in the consolidation of its electoral democracy after the resurgence of the democratic ideals in the 1990s. This is where Samuel Koge, in this chapter, investigates the primary trajectories that characterize the peaceful political transition, and by extension, outline the path for democratic consolidation in Ghana's Fourth Republic. He proceeded by attempting to answer the questions or the question on how we can relate Ghana's political transition to democratic consolidation in the Fourth Republic. Ghana's political transition relatively succeeded through the respect of democratic norms, regular alternation of power or political power, and the commitment to a democratic culture by its citizens. In the third chapter, Derek Kinang, another author or co-author, looks at the popular support with which citizens welcome military coup in Africa. It is funny because previously military coups were viewed as being evil to Africa's political development, but nowadays citizens are calling the military to take over power, to intervene in politics. So he takes Kinang studies the examples of Burkina Faso and Mali and attempts to find out why the illegality of military coup is getting popular support. He therefore pens down some approaches that can be put in place in order to have productive civilian rule that will eventually reduce the advent of military coup in politics. The fourth chapter questions power alternation and the rule of the winner-take-all in political transition in Africa. Violence, Cedric Kibang says, is inherent even in democratic transition in advanced democracies. The situation is further complicated in pluralistic societies where ethnic identities frequently overshadow a sense of national identity. In these countries, that is in most of Africa, elections are often perceived as a zero-sum game where a victory for one group is viewed as a defeat for another. This dynamic, Kibang argues, creates a critical tipping point for post-electoral violence and to some extent civil unrest. This chapter comes out with proposals on how conflict related to power alternation or transition can be reduced. So this is the essential resume of what this book talks about.
Well, that's quite an achievement that you've put together with your co-authors, and I certainly hope that there's some success with selling the book. It sounds to me as though it could pretty much be used as a textbook for people. It's very thoroughly researched and written. So thank you for telling us about it.
Thank you, Chuck. Yeah, we also invite all those interested in political research in Africa, especially students in most universities around the world, to grab their own copies, because it is a well-researched book. It's a well-researched book by African scholars who are into the realities of African politics.
All right. Well, what else is going on over here?
No. Any question that you think we could shed more light on, you can ask.
Okay. I was well, going back to your description of the book. One of the things that that you mentioned was that the apparently pretty much the same number of coups occurred in the 30 years prior to 1990 and the 30 years following 1990. That
exactly.
That seems like a surprising result. It's not what I would have expected. So.
Yes, that is where we have to take seriously the analysis of the state in Africa. I started by saying that the state in Africa is different from other states around the world because it is what some sociologists call an imported state. The state was imposed. It was a superstructure imposed on most of Africa by Europeans during the Berlin Conference.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main difference. Yes. So how do we understand that during the 1960 and 1990, where we had authoritarian rule, there was relatively no democracy, no electoral democracy. We had the same, or we can count the same number of coups, even in the era where we supposedly were electing leaders via elections.
Mm-hmm.
So how can we explain that? That democracy itself, or electoral democracy itself, is unable to reduce the number of coups that happened during the authoritarian rule, where there were no elections. So now the question, we have to go deeper and find out, what is it that makes it happen? Is it the state in Africa, or is it the people themselves? It's not happening in Asia. It's not happening in Latin America. It's not happening in Europe. It's not happening in the Middle East. Only in Africa. And if we neglect the fact that the state in Africa was imported, was an imposed structure on the people, is the people's reality about what they perceive as state was destroyed by colonization. If we refuse to acknowledge that, then we'll find it difficult to understand the advent of coup d'etats in politics in Africa.
So the colonization process essentially eradicated any respect that the citizens might have for their government, and so they feel like it's perfectly fine to just wipe it out and start over, periodically, frequently.
Yes, in order to understand that, we have to also accept that there are two kinds of government. Before colonization, we had our forms of government that were true to the people. So when the colonial masters came in with the colonial state, they created another form of government that will fit into the colonial state. I don't know if you're getting my point. So the government we have now are the government, or is a government that was created to fit into the colonial state.
Okay.
That's why they are not productive. Because if the colonial state is not productive, then those sustaining that state cannot be productive. They call them, in the African political jargon, they are called the new elite or the colonial elite.
Okay.
As compared to the traditional elite. The traditional elites are those who, for example, now, I am an African. I'm not a British.
Mm-hmm.
I speak to my fellow Cameroonian using the English language. I'm colonized. I am fully colonized. But a Chinese will not speak to a fellow Chinese using English language.
Huh.
Yes. A Japanese will not speak to the fellow Japanese using the English language, even though they were colonized by Britain.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but we were also colonized by Britain and France. But we, after decolonization, after they left, we still kept the language because the language fulfills the existence of the colonial state. Yes, if you have to do away with the colonial state, then you have to do away with the language. So the new elites are those who believe that in order to be recognized as a modern man, as a modern government, you must speak or you must maintain what the colonizers gave you. That is, you refuse who you are and embrace what you were defined to be. Yes. I think that's where Africa is relatively different from other parts of the world.
That's very interesting. The whole idea of how language fits in is a very interesting point.
Mm-hmm.
But hasn't English been imposed in many other parts of the world too?
Yes. For example, I mean, what do you mean by impose? For example, now, it's not only about the language; it's also about the institutions. The institutions themselves. The institutions that came along to concretize or to consolidate the colonial states are still there. The parliament, the executive, the military, the police were all created by the colonial system to maintain the colonial states, and they are all still there. Now, if you ask if English has not been imposed in other parts of the world, let's take an example. Give me an example. Let's see how we can debate that.
Well, I'm not sure that I have an example, and we have about 3 minutes left, just so you know. I think. What am I? I lost my thought.
It happens.
Your point about the institutions still being, the original institutions. I think that's a very important point. When these coups happen, they don't really replace anything except for the people that are running it. They don't change the system.
Yes. No, nothing changes. Poverty still increases.
Uh-huh.
I mean, the health system still collapses. Both the military and the civilians are doing a good job. That's why I call them the colonial elite.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, let me just paint a picture of what I'm trying to say. Now, I have a village. I come from a village in Cameroon. In my village, we have what we call our home language. We have our tradition and our culture, which is different from the other villages in Cameroon. Now, when I get to the village, when we are talking about community development, all the villagers come out and they think about supplying water to the village, electricity, and the roads. We have nothing. We ask nothing from the central government, or let me call it the colonial government. So, and we don't speak English. We speak our home language. our ancestral language, which is not English. I mean, in my village, there are so many villages in Cameroon like that. Now, by speaking my home language, by following what our ancestors put in place, which is not what the white man or the European, let me use the word European, what the European gave us as colonization, we succeed in fixing our roads without taking loan from any foreign bank. We raise the funds ourselves. And this is to show you that if Africa were to be in its original form without being colonized, we will hardly go for loans because the people will be committed to build their lands without taking loans. And that will drastically reduce what we call today corruption in Africa. Yes.
All right.
Because all the money being taken from foreign banks for development are simply embezzled by the new elite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for a very, very interesting segment. I really enjoyed it. And listeners, the book is Military Coups and Political Transition in Africa, Evolution and Conflict Dynamics. You can find it on Amazon. And that is the end of our show. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Julius. And good night, everybody. Happy New Year.
Thank you for listening to Revolution Radio.
Revolution Radio, where truth breaks the spell and information never sleeps. Tune into Revolution Radio, where truth breaks the spell and information never sleeps. Revolution Radio, where truth breaks the spell and information never sleeps. Never sleeps. Never sleeps. Tune into Revolution Radio, where truth breaks the spell and information never sleeps.
Transcending time and space, let us take you to the place inside your mind where thoughts divide and mysteries unwind. Join us every Monday evening right here on Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And you will catch the Fenton Perspective with our great host, Lorian Fenton. Come listen in as she shares her amazing stories from the past to present, along with all of her guest secrets to the future. That's the Fenton Perspective every Monday evening right here from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, only on Revolution Radio. Oh, and you don't need to expect us.